John the Baptist was an extreme dude. He was extreme. As an adult, he lived in the desert, and it says that he wore the clothes of camel's hair. He had a leather belt around his waist, and his food was grasshoppers and honey. Grasshoppers and honey. Can you imagine what he must have looked like? Can you imagine that? His hair like this, like he's electrocuted. Standing on the top of a boulder, a big rock, people from Jerusalem coming to listen to him preach, and he would point at them. You should change your life. Repent. Change your life. What would have been your response? It's interesting to think about that. The church makes the same proclamation. Repent, change your life, prepare for Christmas, prepare for Christmas. I still think, this is my own opinion, that God sends into the world prophets like John the Baptist. Prophets are people who tell the truth of God. I'll give you an example. I had the privilege of meeting two saints, two canonized saints. It was a great privilege for me. I met John Paul II on a couple of occasions. I studied in Rome. I used to serve Mass for him periodically, but I met him on 2 occasions. I met Mother Teresa as well, 2 times in Rome. Both of them, I think, are modern prophets. John Paul II, the great Pope, now St. John Paul, he came to America several times. And when he was able, you remember what he would do? He would get off his airplane, and he would get down on his hands and knees, and he would kiss the ground. He would also go to other nations, and when he was able, he'd get down on his hands and knees, and he'd kiss the ground in Mexico, or wherever he went. Then he would travel around the country, around the United States, and he would make various talks. But I remember one time, he was giving a speech. There were all these television cameras there. There were like all these microphones in front of him, And I kind of expected him to come up to the microphone and to say to all the United States and to the rest of the world who was watching, I kind of thought that he would say, "This is a wonderful country, and I thank you for the contribution that you have made to world peace." He got up to the microphone, you know what he said? "This is a culture of death." He's a prophet. This is a culture of death. What do you mean by that in the United States? This is a culture of death. You know what he meant? He was talking about abortion, Roe v. Wade, where abortion is legal throughout the entire 9 months of pregnancy for any reason at all. He was talking about the widespread use of contraception in the majority of families in the United States of childbearing age. He was talking about euthanasia. He was talking about using human embryos for research in order to gain stem cells. This is what he was talking about. This is a culture of death, but it's prophetic. It's prophetic in the sense that he says the truth to a culture, and it's shocking to people. Mother Teresa was a prophet too, and by that I mean the following. She came to the United States on multiple occasions to visit her sisters. I remember just one. She said something like this. This is a paraphrase, but she said something like this. She said, "You Americans, you are financially wealthy and you have many possessions, but spiritually you're poor." That's what she said. Shocking, huh? That's true, by the way. Not for all people, but for many people. The United States has many rich people. They have rich possessions, but sometimes they forget God. Money and wealth and possessions has replaced God in their life. May I ask you to do me a favor? You think in your own life, if you've ever had somebody tell you the truth, that person just came to your mind. You ever had somebody tell you the truth and it was shocking to you? It was true, but shocking to you. If you've ever had a person risk losing your friendship or risk losing your love, but they tell you the truth about yourself, you should thank that person. They love you enough to tell you the truth, And that's a prophet. Lots of times I think parents are this way with their teenagers. they tell the teenagers the truth. Or young adults, parents tell the young adults the truth. And sometimes they don't take it so well. But the parents are prophetic. The parents are prophetic in that particular way.